All right, hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Delusional Fan with Geraghty and McCloud. I'm Chris Geraghty. This is Ryan McCloud. We want to first, I think, thank everybody who listened to last week's show. That was our first, our first foray together, right?
Yeah, man. It was, absolutely. Thanks, big thanks. Shout out to everybody who watched, everybody who liked it, shared it. Keep doing it. Keep liking it and sharing it. We'll keep going with this thing, and we'll get better.
And if you really like it, make sure you subscribe. You subscribe.
There we go.
First of all, onto our YouTube channel, because I did start that YouTube channel. Again, we've got our social media going, which is at The Delusional Fan 1 on Twitter.
Yep.
The Delusional Fan, of course, on Facebook, which I think we're most active on so far. Right. We seem to have had a lot of shares on that and a lot of videos. Again, thanks for watching those. Ryan finally joined the natural world.
Welcome,
and it's on Twitter. So what's your Twitter handle now?
It is The Real Rye Guy 23.
Real Rye Guy 23.
The Real Guy 23.
So make sure you at least hit him up on that for any questions you have. And then, of course, our Twitter fan page.
I didn't mean to be all thuggish or uggish with it with the THA. It's THA Real, The Real Rye Guy 23. So it was taken. The Real Rye Guy with the correct pronunciation there, correct spelling was taken.
You're not the Real Rye Guy then.
No, that's why, I had to specify. Oh, I guess there's multiple Rye Guys out there apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, good week in sports, I think.
Absolutely,
Pretty crazy. I mean, I know we're all starving for football, as what happens most of the year when the Bears and Packers aren't playing.
I certainly am.
But NBA playoffs going on.
And they've been exciting.
Yeah.
Baseball's been exciting. Ultimately, I think it was a good week in sports.
NHL playoffs, and look what just happened. Ovi and the President's Cup trophy winners.
Yeah.
President's Trophy winners just got knocked out by Pittsburgh, who I can't stand, even though my Hawks aren't in it.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm the first to admit if I don't really pay too much attention to the NHL if the Hawks aren't in it. I'm a huge bandwagon Hawks fan, so
I am a little bit too. I haven't been watching any of the games. I'll follow the scores. Last night when it was coming down into overtime, I watched, and it was crazy to watch Pittsburgh do what they did, and just the look on Ovechkin's face. I like the guy. I want him to win. He's one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen.
Right.
It's one of the greatest players we've ever seen. And the guy the team just fails, just chokes every year. It's just crazy. And I mean blowing away the points lead this year. It wasn't close.
Yeah, and again, I don't follow as much. You certainly follow it more than I do. Yeah. So, NHL playoffs are always fun, though. It doesn't matter really what the teams are. It's always pretty exciting.
In my opinion, next obviously the one-and-done NFL games. They're the best playoffs in pro sports, in my opinion.
Yeah. I might agree with that. So, weekend was good, though?
For me? Yeah.
Father's Day weekend?
It was good. For all the people that don't know me, I will be a father this year.
That's right. I was going to say, this is the last Mother's Day that you don't have to celebrate with Alex, right?
Well, I did celebrate. I wanted to get her something, so I got her a little. It was cheap stuff. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do because she didn't want anything.
Yeah,
she wanted nothing to do with it. She's like, well, I'm not a mom yet. I'm like, yeah, you are a mom. We should get you something. I just got her a little one of those, where you mix the fruit in with the water, the water bottle things, and then a book on motherhood. Just something to make her feel good. She's in that. She just hit the third trimester, so we're due August. So
little baby Geraghty on the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna be somebody's father. It's just not a good idea.
Right, scary stuff.
Yeah.
Well, did you smoke anything this weekend?
Yes.
3 months. 3 months ago, his lovely wife Alex got him a smoker. He's all but lived in it the last month.
I won't get too far into it, but I'm a genius.
Right.
I'm a genius.
Called himself a golden god the other day.
I am a golden god. I can smoke anything. Tastes fantastic. We ate
bronze pedestrian.
My wife made stuffed poblanos this week. You know who smoked those stuffed poblanos so my wife could stuff them? Me.
Oh wow.
Never good. If you haven't had stuffed poblanos, make sure you bring them over and smoke with them.
So anyway,
how was your weekend?
It was good, man. It was good. I went home, went back to Cary, got to see some friends and family, spend time with especially my mom on Mother's Day.
Yeah,
which was awesome. Yeah.
And how was Mother McCloud?
Mother Mac's doing awfully fine these days.
Okay.
It was good, man. It's always good to go home and see friends and family. But it was funny, man. On Sunday, the Cubs were playing. It was a lazy Sunday for me and my dad. We were just sitting there.
Do you mean Walk-off Sunday?
That's walk-off. Is that what we're calling it?
Well, I'm calling it.
It was fun, man. We were sitting there. We were sitting there and going back and forth, and obviously it starts going into extra innings, and it's a 2-hour drive for me, man. So I'm thinking, I got to get on the road pretty soon here. Like, I want to get home before Game of Thrones starts. And we're getting 6:15,
Priorities.
6:20, and I'm like, it's like an hour, 20 minutes since when I wanted to leave. And I did. I was like, look, I'm going to have to listen to the rest of it. Hugged and kissed my mom and dad goodbye. Got in the car. I get onto Route 14, which is a minute from my parents' house.
Yeah.
Which takes straight shot to Madison. And I'm like, shit, I forgot. Click on the game. And literally the first thing I hear when I turn on the game, Javi Baez with a walk-off home run. If you're not in front of the TV right now, if you're not at the ballpark, you missed out. Like, he was speaking to me. You know, if you just happen to get in the car and you're listening to my broadcast
for not finishing the game, I get.
Yeah, so it was a bummer, man. But how exciting are they right now? They lost today. Yeah.
How's your okay? Well, hey, this is a good way to start the show. So Cubs, they're off to a miraculous start. We can talk about that a little bit. Let's actually start with the Southsiders.
Sure.
They're off to not as good a start because they're not as good a team. How's your family feeling about the Sox right now? I mean, Chris Sale it's gonna be Chris Sale and Arrieta in the All-Star game right now, right?
Yeah. Well, here, if we're gonna just start with the Sox.
Yeah.
My brother Adam and my brother Chris are both big shit talkers, and most Sox fans are. They are actually being intelligent here and curbing their enthusiasm a little bit, which is really what I wanted to talk about. Hey,
I didn't know Sox fans did that.
Hey, man, and that's what I'm saying. They're actually. They have their moments, and so and not every fan is delusional like a Sox fan can be, or any of us can be.
Packer fan, yeah.
Packer, but Bears, certainly fans. Cubs. So fans, anyway, it's early, and I think
it's really early,
dude. It's too early.
It's not too early.
It is. It's to be talking about. Look, and I get it. It's
look at the lead the Cubs have in the Central right now. I know that can disappear fast, but
it's deep in. It's not deep in the season. I'm saying we have enough sample size to know that both teams are good. Again, here's my
fifth of the way through the season, I would say.
Here's my thing. Both franchises here have had take away 05, and I know that's hard for you to understand, White Sox fans, but you take that away. 1917 was the last time they won a World Series. They almost were. If they don't, I understand it's a big if, and I'm not taking anything away from that championship in 05. But if you take that away, their drought is almost as bad as ours. The anxiety level for both franchises right now should be high in terms of the fan bases. We all need to slow down. My dad, honestly, he always says this early in the baseball season or the NBA season. Me and my brother.
Is your dad a Sox fan?
He is. The whole family. And me and my brother-in-law are the only Cubs fans that are the only in the family, the only Cubs fans. And
Mr. McCloud.
Hey, I'm saying
Packers and Sox.
That's bad, huh?
What are you doing?
Most people would tell me Cubs and Packers are the worst, but my point is this. If you take that away, which is a big if, they have almost as long a drought. Both fan bases should be curbing their enthusiasm a little bit, pumping the brakes a little bit. So many things are going to happen over the course of the next few months, whether it be injuries, guys taking time off. We're going to go on losing streaks. We're going to have runs.
Injuries are going to be a part of it. That was the next question I was going to ask. Not the biggest Sox fan. I look at their roster. They have two guys in the top 20 in the AL right now in wins above replacement, which is a pretty big deal. I'm gonna bring that up about the Cubs a little bit later here. But how deep are the Sox? Can the Sox withstand major injury? I believe the Cubs can. They've already lost Kyle Schwarber. Didn't make a difference. They didn't skip a beat. They've got guys like La Stella. They've got guys like Baez that aren't everyday starters. Soler, they're not everyday starters that they can pop in. And these guys like La Stella and Baez are both hitting over 300 right now in their backups. So are the Sox deep enough to where their run could last? Or could venture any sort of injury? I think both teams,
especially the Cubs, who are on fire right now, right?
Yeah. Well, they did lose the first game of the doubleheader today.
Great. I mean, great. So what does that put them at? Well, they're 26 and 7. 25 and 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think that's even sustainable. People are talking about the Cubs breaking the single season record for wins. Just Stop.
Yeah.
Knock it off. Honestly, it's scary enough to think of them not getting to the World Series this year or having some kind of collapse.
Oh,
it's equally, if not more frightening to think of them.
I want to expand on that. Let's dig in.
Playing the Sox in the World Series. That's terrifying.
One of only 8 teams in history to start 24-6.
Yep.
So they can talk, right?
Sure.
Out of those 8 teams, do you know how many won the World Series? I know because my computer says it.
Sure.
4.
Internet never lies. I was going to say 5. I was going to guess 5.
You've got 50% chance to win the World Series, which in baseball with as many teams and things that can happen, that's pretty huge. Mm-hmm. Here's where I agree with you. They're on pace for 129 games. That is ridiculous and not going to happen. I don't care what anybody says. So that I would say curb your enthusiasm a little bit.
All of it, man. It's early.
But here's what's big, though. They're the second fastest team to reach that 100-run differential as far as...
In terms of run differential.
They're scoring quite a bit. And even today in their loss, they still scored right away. I mean, it's a pretty big deal. They're to the point to where they're using their closers for saves because they're scoring so many runs there. They're ahead by so many runs that Rondon is barely even getting any work. Players wise, and this is where injuries can step in, but Cubs have 4 players in the top 20 in the NL in wins above replacement. Fowler is number 2. Then they have Rizzo, Zobrist, and Bryant rounds out at number 20, which is it's a monster. And the fact that Chris Bryant is a second-year player, how ridiculous is that?
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
So I'm okay with people going nuts about the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs haven't won a World Series since what?
In over 100 years. Yes. And here's the thing, man. This is by far in 29. You've seen more than me, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly.
Take it easy.
I think in my 29 years of being on this planet, they've given me enough disappointment. More disappointment than any team that I root for. Whether it be 08 or 03 or any year in between, because they've always been a disappointment up until recently, and so I'm super excited about them too. I don't want to get my expectations so high and expect so much to be let down again. So
Cubs-wise, this is how I'll finish this out. When I talk to you about the Packers and we're talking about the draft, what's the one line you always give me about your GM?
Inside we trust. So
in Theo we trust.
In Theo we trust. Okay.
I mean, he's obviously put
best to ever do it, I think.
Well,
he's getting there.
If he can get the Cubs to a World Series, you might as well start etching his Hall of Fame plaque.
I think he's probably
at that point.
But yeah, I hear you.
That's a pretty big deal. But so as far as Cubs and Sox goes,
it's exciting nonetheless.
It's fantastic.
And baseball in Chicago is the biggest thing right now. It's awesome.
What's the Crosstown Classic going to be like this year?
Oh my God,
it's going to be great.
Yeah, should try to hit up one of those games.
Well, yeah, we're gonna Ryan and I are gonna be at the Brewers game next Wednesday, so our show will be
delayed. We're gonna shoot live from Miller Park. Right.
We're not gonna shoot that, but we'll at least get to hopefully see the Cubs beat up on the Brewers a little bit. They have one of the hottest players in baseball, who is my most hated player in baseball. I can't stand him. It's Ryan Braun.
Yeah,
who's playing really well, so he must be back on the juice.
A weird, not a weird hatred for him, but
I don't have a weird hatred.
It's not weird, but
he's a bad human being.
But you just
tried to ruin a man's life.
He hates his guts. I
can't stand him.
Yeah.
I hate that there's rumors going around the Cubs one. There's no way. Their outfield's solid. They don't need
What is that, an onion or something?
I don't know. It should be on the onion.
Right. Right next to the article, it says Jay Cutler will win a Super Bowl.
Jay Cutler will win a Super Bowl, and he'll have as many as there.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, when we come back, folks, we're going to talk about the NFL Power Rankings came out.
Yes, they did.
The other day.
And here we go. Talk about too early.
Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, fine. If it's too early, listen, the NFL Power Rankings came out. And I'm not happy about them. Ryan is really happy about them. And considering what happened in the draft, BS. But we'll be right back to talk about them, all right? We'll see you in a bit.
See ya.